Good morning and welcome to the new edition of Dr. Lamba's Awakening Call. India is a nation, or is it an assemblage of various nations? The history of India is replete with the fact that this country today was once 600 independent countries, principalities, and so on. There was a time, and not very long ago, when 600 states constituted what is India today. Are we on the same trend to divide and fragment the nation? But then what something amazes me, and that is the same country, the same media, the same politicians who were criticizing Trump for building a wall between USA and Mexico are today themselves building walls and not for the foreign country. You can always understand the logic of building a wall, a barrier, a barricade to save yourself, to protect yourself from a foreign country, to prevent the illegal migration, to prevent smuggling, to prevent human traffic, anything. But to build walls, dig trenches is something which is happening only in India. In no other country of the world would you see this sort of activity going on. And this extreme option of walling of the border roads, it is unconstitutional. It damages the idea of citizenship and does no good at all. Rather, it does more harm. Imagine it. Tamil Nadu building two concrete walls on roads near Andhra border. Two concrete walls. Orissa dig up the roads with Andhra Pradesh, and it came to light on Monday only when a video went viral about a woman who wanted to go to Odisha to get some medical help. Goa wants border with Maharashtra and Karnataka sealed, but no interstate travel via rail or road. A pregnant woman had to be carried on a bamboo shaft after Odisha dug up a trench on the border. Karnataka sealed two highways leading to Kerala, which were reopened on the orders of the High Court. And things go on and on and on. Choking borders in one sovereign nation is not just a death blow to trade and freight. Trade and freight need free movement. The interstate barriers, the interprovincial barriers are injurious and detrimental. But then they are an affront, an insult to the human rights of the people in the border areas, especially the border areas, who often get better facilities and earn their livelihood on the other side of the state. You will see the number of people from northeast working in Delhi and another metro. Those on the borderlands also end up paying a higher price for goods and services because of the continuous harassment of those people. As if that harassment and racism was not enough, the politicians and their idiotic, demented, and arrogant bureaucrats have gone further. Objections remain even a month after allowing the migrants to return to the state. A cost benefit analysis of such decisions will reveal that the cure is worse than the disease itself. Now, let's first see one thing, the constitutional aspect. The Constitution says there shall be no restriction on the movement of the citizens from one state to another state. It's a fundamental right of a citizen to travel anywhere in the Republic of India. I agree that in case of national emergency, as the situation is now, no, officially not an emergency, but God sent act, the God given circumstances of the pandemic force the government to ask people to remain indoors. But does it mean that 10,000 liters of milk, which was to go from Vellore to Andhra Pradesh, should not be allowed to go? Does it mean that the people of Andhra Pradesh should be deprived of the essentials of life? Does it mean that a pregnant woman cannot get the medical and service across the border in the state because the doctor in her state is 200 kilometers away, while the doctor on the other side of the border is just 2 kilometers away? Can anything be more inhuman? Can anything be more unconstitutional? Is it not a violation of our fundamental rights? And what the hell are the High Courts and the Supreme Court doing? They take up the cudgels on behalf of absolutely useless PILs. But this affront to the fundamental rights of millions of the people, there's not a single word from any judge, either the High Court or the Supreme Court. I agree. The High Court directed Karnataka government not to seal the highways. But that was when Kerala went to the High Court. Why could the High Court in the various provinces or the Supreme Court, since it's an interprovincial matter, not take up the case suo moto and tell them that you can't divide the nation? Such walling of the border has another pernicious effect, and that is fear psychosis. It reflects the fear psychosis that the officials, not to mention the ordinary citizens, have come to. All the people are scared, scared out of their wits. They are paralyzed by fear. And the district administrations and the state governments are resorting to irrational, bordering on lunacy. Though the lockdown is expected to be eased, may be removed, there seems little clarity about the opening of the borders. Livelihood and dignity of the citizens must take priority, and the borders must sufficiently be porous again. The emphasis must shift to social distance. To repeat Modi's words, do gaz ki duri, distance of 2 meters. But this division of the country, and it shall lead to a division of the country. Today, you are building walls. The second step would be you will say you need a permit to enter the state. The way you need a permit to enter Arunachal Pradesh, you enter an inner line permit to enter Nagaland, you need an interline permit to enter Mizoram, you need an interline permit to enter all the northeastern states except Assam. So the situation might then be the same. Odisha might say, well, the people who come from Andhra Pradesh, they are coming from an infected area, so they must get a medical certificate that they are okay, and then our medical board will examine them. They say the way the Western countries treat the Indians, get the medical certificate from the doctors approved by us. So sort of a visa, you can call it a permit, you can call it a pass. Would the second step be that the various provincial governments start issuing passports to the citizens certified so and so is a citizen of this province? So would people be citizens of India or would they be citizens of that province? This is a $1 million question I want to ask the politicians, the judiciary, the media, the intelligentsia. Why is it that this has not got a reaction from the Prime Minister? or from the Home Minister. This is divisive. And as I was saying, the reasonable consequence can be deduced to be issuing of the passports. You can call them IDs, you can call them certificates, you can call them pass, but whatever it is. And the issuing of the visas, you can call them inner line permits, you can call them pass, whatever you want to call it. Names are not material. It is the document increasing harassment of the citizens for not possessing a document that is important. And then what would happen? People would be circumvented in that geographical area. They will develop parochial qualities. They will not be thinking themselves as Indians. They'll be thinking themselves of Biharis or Madhya Pradeshis, Marathis, Gujaratis, Odias, Telugus, Tamils, and so on. And you know there are more than 30 such denominations that can be counted on the fingertips. So the people will have a dual dedication, dual loyalty. Suppose there is a dispute between the central government and the state. Would the citizens then say, okay, the center has no right to interfere in the sovereign rights of our state? We elected this government, center has no right to invoke Article 356. And then they take up the arms because then the federal authority is something extraneous. Punjab has stopped the water supply. Haryana is suffering. And today I heard the news that Haryana has stopped the supply of the vegetables and fruits to Delhi. So then the war starts between them, the police forces come up. And you remember it happened once. The UP and Haryana forces, the police forces, they exchanged fire between each other. That happened quite some time back, if you remember it. But it did happen, and then I wrote, is this the end of India? Is this the beginning of the end of India? That was my question at that same time. And today I raise the same question. These building of the walls, 5 feet high, 3 feet wide, imagine the dimensions of the wall. And then from where did they get the labor to do it? They say that there is no labor available. From where did they get the labor? From where did the funds come? On the one side, these very states are asking the government of India for subsidy, and they are wasting funds on building walls and digging trenches. From where have the funds come? Has there been a diversion of the funds from the budgeted heads? If that, is that not a fraud on the budget? Is that not a matter of privilege for the assemblies to take care of? Or do the auditors and the controller generals have no right to interfere and tell the government, no, this is not legal and it is in fact political dishonest? But am I talking of honesty in an environment which is patently dishonest? Apparently so. I don't want to blame any individual. But when I see this is being done in 6 or 7 provinces, and there is nary a statement from the Prime Minister and the Home Minister, it does concern me. Where is India going? Violating the fundamental rights, destroying trade, destroying freight, creating dissensions, sowing the seeds of division, disloyalty, separation, parochialism, racism, xenophobia. All these leaders, these bureaucrats are guilty of the crime against a country, crime against humanity. Would the Supreme Court dare take an action? It should. Would the Prime Minister rise to the occasion and say, stop this nonsense? He should. And if he doesn't, he is failing the nation. If Supreme Court doesn't act, it is acting like a handmaiden of the politician, which it must not be. I dare the Supreme Court to rise up. And I dare media, which says that they are the fourth estate. What fourth estate do they arrogate themselves the title to? They are behaving like henchmen of the politicians and the governments. They have no opinion of their own. They can shout, they can harangue, they can not raise legitimate questions. They raise only those questions which favor their parties and party, or their particular leader whom they like and whom they follow. The nation is in peril. Wake up before it's too late. My awakening call should be a wake up call, a clarion call to all of you. Don't wait. You will lose the country. You might get 600 states, but you will lose India, which is poised to become a superpower. That will be a dream. And then your generation will tell how stupid our ancestors were, which you are going to be if you continue with these stupid activities. Think about it. Thank you.